Have you ever looked at your portfolio and just felt stuck, like it's not going anywhere? Well, you're not imagining it. Today, we're going to talk about a powerful, data-backed strategy to find those stocks that are absolutely taking off, even when the rest of the market is just sitting there. And look, that feeling you have, it's real. Since the market peak back in September 2024, the Nifty 50 has actually been down. It's been a really frustrating sideways slog for most people. So if you feel like you're stuck in the mud, this chart right here is exactly why. But here's where it gets interesting. While the main index was down almost 3%, some individual stocks, like BART Airtel, were just soaring, up nearly 14%. So you see, the secret isn't about guessing where the market's going. It's about finding these incredible pockets of strength that are moving completely on their own. So how do we find them? Well, it all starts with taking one of the biggest rules in investing, buy low, sell high, and completely flipping it on its head. Yeah, I know it sounds crazy, but stay with me. The real explosive moves often come from buying high and selling even higher. Let's break down why. This image explains the whole idea perfectly. Think about it. Buying a stock that's been falling is like trying to launch a rocket straight into a ceiling. There's all this overhead resistance pushing it back down. But buying a stock that's hitting a brand new all-time high, that's a rocket with nothing but clear blue skies ahead. No resistance, no baggage. And here's what that resistance looks like in the real world. Take a look at this Paytm chart. Every single time the price tries to move up, it smacks right into a wall of bag holders. These are all the people who bought at a higher price and are just praying for a chance to sell and get their money back. But see, at an all-time high, that problem just disappears. Everybody who owns the stock is making money, so the path of least resistance is up. So let's just lay it out, side by side. The old way has you trying to catch a falling knife, fighting against all those frustrated sellers. The momentum way, our way, puts you on a rocket ship. You're riding right alongside confident, happy investors into those clear skies. It's a complete game changer in how you see the market. Okay, so we get why we're buying at all-time highs. Now for the fun part. How do we do it? It turns out there's a simple, repeatable, three-step pattern that practically screams when a stock is getting ready to make one of these explosive moves. Here it is. The pattern has three phases. First, you get the dip. The stock pulls back a bit, shakes some people out. Then comes part two, the rocket recovery, a really fast, powerful rebound that shows serious strength. And finally, the moment we've been waiting for, the breakout. This is when the stock pushes through its old high, and that's our signal to get in. When you see all three, you know something big is happening. Now, through all of this, there's really only one indicator you need to become best friends with: the 200-day moving average. Just think of it as your long-term compass. If the stock is above this line, the big trend is up. But if it closes below it, we sell. That's it. No questions, no emotions. It's our absolute non-negotiable exit rule. Let's see how this all plays out with a real stock. Here's Varun Beverages. And you can see the pattern plain as day. You've got the dip below the 200-day moving average, then that powerful recovery, and boom, there's our entry signal as it breaks the old high. And then we just sit back and hold it, all the way until it finally gives us our exit signal by closing below that purple line. And what was the result of that simple, rules-based trade? A 566% gain. Think about that. This simple system let you hold that stock through wars, inflation scares, market crashes, all of it, because our one simple rule, the long-term trend, never broke. Now, a 566% return is amazing, right? But how do we find more trades like that? And, just as important, how do we avoid the ones that look good but just fizzle out? Well, to do that, we add one more incredibly powerful filter. This is the secret weapon that separates the good trades from the truly great ones. It's a concept from the legendary trader Stan Weinstein called stage analysis. So, Weinstein figured out that basically every stock on the planet moves through four distinct stages. There's stage one, a boring flat base. There's stage two, which is the powerful uptrend. That's our zone. Then you have stage three, where it tops out. And finally, stage four, a brutal downtrend. Now, our golden rule here could not be simpler. We only take our momentum breakout signals when a stock is confirmed to be in a stage two uptrend. That's it. This one filter dramatically stacks the odds in our favor. So, how do we find these stage two stocks automatically? We build a scanner.
Now, I know what you're thinking. This code on the screen looks really complicated, maybe even a little scary. But don't worry about that. It's really just a precise recipe made up of 7 very simple, logical rules that describe a perfectly healthy uptrend. All right, let's decode this thing, because this is the real engine of the whole strategy. SMA just means simple moving average. First, the price has to be above both the 150-day and the 200-day average. This just confirms the long-term trend is up. Easy enough. Second, we want the 150-day to be above the 200-day. Think of it like this. We want the medium-term trend stacked on top of the long-term trend. Everything's pointing in the right direction. Third, and this is the big one, the 200-day average itself must be rising. It's not enough for it to be high. It has to be actively moving higher. This is our main defense against stocks that are just going sideways. Next, we check the shorter term. The 50-day average needs to be above the 150-day, and the current price needs to be above the 50-day. See the pattern? The short, medium, and long-term trends are all perfectly aligned, all bullish. The last 2 rules are just common sense. We want the stock to be near its 52-week high, which fits our breakout strategy perfectly. And we add a liquidity filter to make sure we're only looking at stocks we can actually trade easily. See? Together, these 7 rules just paint a perfect picture of a stock in a powerful, healthy uptrend. Look, if you forget everything else, please remember this one rule. The 200-day moving average absolutely must be rising. You want to make sure today's value is higher than it was last month. This single check separates the true powerhouses from all the fakes. It tells you that the stock's very foundation, its long-term trend, is getting stronger day by day. This is the ultimate quality check. Okay, we've got the breakout pattern. We've got the powerful stage 2 filter. Now let's put it all together and actually build the screener that's going to find these A+ opportunities for us, and we can do it with tools that are totally free. This funnel right here is the entire strategy in a single image. It's so simple. We start with the entire universe of stocks. Our first filter just looks for stocks that are near their all-time high. That narrows things down a lot. Then we apply our second filter, the stage 2 trend check. We run that list through our 7 rules, and just like that, we're left with a tiny, manageable list of the absolute best, highest probability setups in the entire market. And this isn't just some back-tested theory. This is what the screener is finding right now, today. These are big, liquid companies like Shriram Finance and AU Small Finance Bank, setting up with our exact pattern as we speak. The opportunities are always out there. And this last chart just drives the whole point home. Just look across all these different charts. They're different companies, different industries, different times, but they are all tracing the exact same fingerprint of success: the dip, the rocket recovery, and the breakout. This isn't magic, and it's definitely not luck. It's a pattern, a repeatable pattern that the market gives us over and over again. So in the end, the market is always leaving clues. It leaves these fingerprints for anyone who's willing to learn how to read them. The momentum breakout pattern is one of the clearest signals you'll ever find. We've just shown you how to spot it. The only question left is, are you going to use it?